Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to the Girls Frontline 2 video. There's a little bit of dilemma if you are a global player right now. So what is this dilemma that we're talking about? Now, the dilemma is not about the outfit for Tololo. Of course, most likely I'm gonna get the outfit. It looks really good. But it's more about Tololo coming in a banner, alright? So that means she's going to compete with Makiatto, alright? Or Makiatto, that's how it's the spelling is going to be like in global server. So you gotta decide between these two. Now you might be like, wait, Tololo is in the standard banner, why should I care about her? Now, if you guys are not following the news, recently Tololo got buffed in CN. And she got buffed in a way that she's now top tier above all the other characters, neck in neck with Kluke. So very interesting. Now, there are going to be some conditions that you need to be aware of, alright? So Tololo is, while she's strong, and she is definitely above Makiatto right here, you still need this other character called Springfield, alright? Springfield is apparently a very strong support that just came out in the CN server, and then she pretty much, as you can see here, power creeps Swarmy, which is very interesting. So Swarmy sucks now, damn! Alright, so again, keep in mind that CN meta is like way ahead of global meta, so you guys don't have to be worried about this too much, alright? This is going to come to us maybe like in 5-6 months, I don't know, right? Depending on how sped up global is, but I wouldn't worry about it too much if you guys did pull for Swarmy. But for now, just to update you guys, give you guys a better perspective overall, let's jump into it. Now, before we talk about a little bit more about what is happening in the CN server, let's just first talk about global server first, as in, should you save your standard banner ticket? This is something that I see a lot of people discussing recently. Now, a couple of days ago, they gave us this particular 10 tickets in the mailbox. If you guys are not aware, this is because apparently I've been gathering that some Korean players were trying to hack the standard banner, alright? So what do I mean by hacking the standard banner? They try to modify it according to how CN server is. So right now, with our current banner right now, if you guys are not aware, if you go all the way here to the standard banner to pull, you can see you are guaranteed an elite item every 80 pulls. However, it is going to be amongst, right now you can see all of these characters and also all of these weapons. So there's no specific way to target a specific character. But in CN banner, they have modified how this banner works in the way that you can basically do this. Alright, you can select a character right there to basically have a rate up. So it's a 50-50 chance still. So it's a 50% chance to get a standard banner character and a 50% chance to get something amongst all the others, which is a way better system, right? So as you can see, you are going to be able to select all of these characters, including Tololo there as well. So keep in mind, and this is going to be very useful if you're trying to target either Tololo or Cheongju, because those two are going to be meta. Now, my advice is obviously try to save the standard banner ticket if you can until this feature is going to be implemented. Now, right now this is not confirmed, but it is a rumor that it is going to be implemented somewhere in February 2025. So that's going to be about 1.5 months from now, I guess. So if you care about that, that's going to be something that we can look forward to. Now, there are some rumors that people are saying that you need to be able to reach this selector first to benefit from that system, that for you to be able to choose which character you want, which is, as far as my research goes, is not true, because that is a separate thing. It's not going to affect this particular selector right here. This particular system implementation has nothing to do with that selector right there. It is independent of each other, so it is not going to affect one another. So it's not going to, there's no need for you to reach that selector first. But yeah, just to clarify that, right? Now let's talk about Tololo in CN. So like I mentioned earlier, currently top tier in the CN server. There's two reasons for that. Number one is in the previous video, I talked about how she get a special key that is going to benefit her. Two is right now, Springfield is going to be a very strong water support character that pretty much power creeps Swarmy as well. So these two combined together makes her one of the best character candidates right now, because Tololo has an advantage in terms of she can move twice per turn. And now her damage is insane with Springfield. Now let's first talk about Springfield, right? So Springfield, again, this is a character that just came in recently in the first anniversary in the global server. Alright, so this is how she is. She is going to be a sniper rifle supporter. Alright, very interesting. Now she's pretty much going to compete with Swarmy in that slot of, if you need an AoE healer, she's going to be there, which is going to be the reason why she's pretty much broken. Now, I would say if you are trying to build like a water team, she's going to be a core. And you can see she can summon a bird right there. So let me just briefly go through and explain to you guys what she does, so you guys can understand why she's going to be strong. So this is going to be her strongest skill, her ultimate, alright? So select an enemy within 9 tile radius, she's going to summon the bird, and that bird is going to follow and target one enemy for 2 rounds. So 2 things are going to be applied right there: dampness and false intelligence. Dampness decrease the healing that the enemy receives by 40%, and false intelligence increase the stability damage received by 2 points. So pretty cool, and it is going to buff the water damage as well. Now it is not only going to apply this particular target, but every enemy within a 3 tile radius of the target for 2 turns. And also deals AoE damage, 80% of attack. Again, very very strong, alright? And this is not only what she does, she also applies Buried Bonds and Overflowing Care for all allies for 2 rounds, okay? So restores HP equal to 100% attack, and restores 2 stability, dispels 1 debuff on all allies, dispels Taunt, dispels Panic. So you can see quite similar to Suomi, with the exception of maybe she doesn't really give the shield, alright? Depending on whether you need that or not. Now again, let's show you guys how this works. You can see she's being summoned towards this enemy, and everybody is getting the healing right there, alright? And then the bird is constantly surrounding the enemy. So all the other skills is going to be pretty good as well. She is going to be one of the best character. Yeah, so that's going to be one of her other abilities. There's a single target heal as well. Very strong meta character right now. So in CN, first anniversary, she's pretty much the meta character that every player goes for. Now if you intend to get her, then Tololo is pretty much a no-brainer, right? Now, you might argue that by then, we are going to have Tololo by then. It's only for us to worry about a Tololo banner right now. So that could be an argument. You could apply that and I'll be like, okay, sure. If that's the case, then sure, you don't have to worry about Tololo for the time being. I think this is going to put into perspective of what is the direction or what are you looking for as a player, right? So we're pretty much comparing Tololo versus Makiatto, right? And who is going to be the better value for you, alright? Because right now we are aware that Makiatto banner is coming. Again, you could argue that, okay, Makiatto is a character that will never be added to the standard banner. Why would I not pull for her? And I think that's a valid point as well, alright? If that's going to be the perspective that you are going through, I can see if that's the case, then you can probably get Tololo instead. Tololo is going to be a character that will always be there in the standard banner, and like I mentioned, later on, you're going to have the ability to basically configure the standard banner to basically have a 50% chance to select her, alright? 50-50, alright? If you fail the first time, the second time guarantees her. So you are going to have that option as well. Depending on when Springfield comes, she is going to be pretty much one of the better candidates in terms of DPS right now. So hopefully you guys are aware of that, right? Because I try to keep up with the CN meta, and I try to look at what's happening right there as well. Now I don't know when that's going to come to global. Now if you decide to not pull for Makiatto, would your account be okay? Because right now, Tololo in global right now, she's probably going to be weaker than Makiatto, right? So she gets stronger, that's going to be later when Springfield comes out. But we don't know when that is, right? Is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be 1 year? So based on the information that we have right now, that is going to be a while more. So I do feel like for most players, if you want to like chase meta, Makiatto is probably better. And then, you know, you're going to get Tololo eventually. If you pull in the long run, you play the game for like in the next 5 to 6 months, there's no way you're just gonna win every single 50-50, right? Eventually you're gonna lose, maybe get Tololo along the way. That could be also an angle that you can look at. Ideally, I get it that maybe you want some Tololo dupes along the way as well, but like I mentioned, there's going to be the specific customized standard banner as well coming, and don't forget that some of you guys probably still haven't used this particular selector yet. Now knowing that this thing is still here, at least for mine, I haven't reached 260. I don't know if some of you guys use your collapse pieces to try to get here faster, but you know, Tololo, Chongju, these two are going to be a very good option, but now in CN, Tololo is going to be the better one. Now who knows, maybe by then when Springfield comes to global, maybe suddenly Vapli will become meta if there's a new character that can buff her, right? We don't really know, right? So if you are always, we are always going to be constantly in the chasing the meta phase. It's good as a knowledge, right? But it's hard to know what will happen by then. When Springfield comes to global, what will CN have by then, right? Would Vapli or Mosinagan be meta then, right? So who knows? But hey, that's just a thought process that I have for the time being. Let me know what you guys think overall. If you guys think Tololo is going to be the one that you want to go for, as per usual, make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a like, Can't wait for Makiatto coming next week. With that being said, have a nice day. Goodbye.